Hello and welcome back to the British Accent Podcast. I'm Emily, and today we're diving into a pretty deep question. Are you living, or are you just existing? It's something that's been on my mind a lot lately. How often we go through our days on autopilot, just ticking off tasks, without really feeling present or connected. And that can affect everything, including how we learn English. So let's chat about what it means to truly live, and how that mindset can change your learning journey.
Hey, Emily. That's a thought-provoking start. I think a lot of us fall into that trap of existing more than living, especially when life gets busy or stressful. We're just trying to get through the day, not really engaging with it. But when it comes to learning a language, that just existing mode can slow us down or even make us want to give up.
Exactly, Nick. And sometimes, it's not even about having more time, it's about how we use the time we have. Are we fully showing up for ourselves and for the things that matter? Because when you're really living, even your English practice can become more meaningful and enjoyable.
That's true. When you're truly present, you notice little things, the way someone says a phrase, the rhythm of a song, the emotions behind words. That kind of attention helps your English come alive, instead of being just a chore or a task on a checklist.
Yes, and I think it also helps us connect our English learning with our passions and experiences. When you bring your real life into the language, you make it personal. It stops being abstract and starts feeling like a part of who you are.
So maybe the first step is asking yourself, am I just existing through my English journey, or am I really living it? And if it's the former, what small changes can bring more life into your practice? Maybe it's changing your study environment, trying out new materials, or even using English to explore topics you love.
Absolutely. It could be as simple as having a conversation with a friend in English about something you care about, or watching a movie that inspires you. The key is to find joy and purpose, not just drills and repetition.
Because when you're living, not just existing, your English becomes a tool for connection, creativity, and growth, not just a skill you're trying to acquire.
And that shift in mindset makes all the difference. So if you feel stuck or bored, remember, you can choose to live your learning. You can bring your curiosity, your feelings, your stories into it, and make it something vibrant and alive.
Yeah, and that's what keeps us motivated, even when things get tough. Because living means being present to the whole experience, not just focusing on perfection or outcomes.
So today, let's encourage each other to live more fully, not just in English learning, but in life. To be curious, to be bold, and to find moments of meaning even in the small stuff.
And remember, it's okay to take it slow. Living is not a race. It's about quality, not speed.
Exactly. So, are you living your English journey, or just existing through it? If you're just existing, maybe today is the day to try something new and breathe a little more life into your practice.
Here's to living, not just existing. And to making your English journey truly yours.
It's interesting how much mindset shapes everything, isn't it? When you think of English learning as part of your life, not separate from it, it becomes less about pressure and more about exploration.
Yeah, and that can take the edge off when things feel overwhelming. Instead of thinking, I have to study for 2 hours, you might think, I'm going to chat with someone, watch a video, or read something that sparks my interest. It's less about ticking boxes and more about living the experience.
And it's okay if some days feel less productive. Living fully includes accepting ups and downs. Sometimes, just soaking in English passively while doing other things can count as living your learning.
Exactly. The moments where you relax and absorb without stress are just as important as the focused study sessions. It's all part of the bigger picture.
And don't forget that the living approach helps with motivation too. When you're genuinely interested, or emotionally connected to what you're learning, it sticks better.
It's like feeding your curiosity rather than forcing yourself through a grind. That curiosity makes your brain more engaged, and that makes progress smoother and more enjoyable.
Plus, when you live your English journey, you also become more open to making mistakes and learning from them, because it's part of the adventure, not a failure.
And that's where growth happens, when you embrace imperfection and keep moving forward with a sense of purpose.
So, whether you're having a perfect day, or a messy one, remember that living through your English learning means bringing your whole self into it, your interests, your feelings, and your unique story.
And that mindset can transform not only your language skills but your whole outlook on life.
It really can. So keep exploring, stay curious, and most importantly, live your journey, not just exist through it.
And you know, it's also about noticing those little wins along the way. Sometimes, it's just understanding a phrase in a show or having a short chat in English without freezing up, that counts as living the moment, not just existing.
Absolutely, those moments build up over time. They might seem small individually, but together they create a rich experience that feels meaningful and real.
It's like collecting pieces of a puzzle. Each bit fits somewhere, and eventually, you see the full picture of your progress and your life blending.
And when life throws curveballs, and it will, you can still find ways to connect with English that fit into your current reality, rather than trying to force a perfect routine that doesn't match your day.
Yeah, adapting to your mood and energy is part of living fully too. Sometimes that means switching things up, maybe listening instead of speaking, or reading instead of writing, whatever feels right.
That flexibility keeps things fresh and prevents burnout, which is so important if you want to sustain your learning long term.
And it helps you stay connected to why you started learning English in the first place. Maybe it's curiosity, career goals, travel, or just wanting to chat with people from around the world.
Holding on to that why helps ground you when days feel tough or progress seems slow. It's a reminder that this journey is yours, and it's okay to take it at your own pace.
And most importantly, you're not alone in this. So many people feel the same struggles but keep choosing to live and learn every day.
That sense of community can be a great motivator, even if it's just knowing others are out there, facing similar challenges.
So keep showing up, in whatever way you can. Because living your English learning is about being present, curious, and kind to yourself.
And with that mindset, you're already ahead in more ways than one.
Exactly, it's about embracing the process, not just chasing a perfect outcome. When you stop stressing about hitting every goal perfectly, learning becomes part of your life instead of a separate, stressful task.
Yeah, it's like when you're really living something, it flows naturally. You're engaged because it feels relevant, not because you're forcing yourself to tick boxes.
And that mindset helps when life gets messy, because it always does. Instead of quitting or feeling overwhelmed, you find ways to keep going in ways that fit your situation.
Even if that means just 5 minutes of listening to a podcast while making breakfast, or repeating a phrase in your head while commuting.
Those tiny moments add up, and more importantly, they keep you connected to your learning without it becoming another source of stress.
So the key is to be gentle with yourself and celebrate progress, no matter how small. That's what living your learning looks like.
And sometimes, it's about shifting your perspective, seeing challenges not as setbacks but as part of the adventure. Life isn't a straight line, so neither is learning.
That's a good point. When you accept that ups and downs are natural, it's easier to stay motivated even when things aren't perfect.
Plus, it's helpful to remember that even when you feel like you're just existing, those moments can still hold value for your English. Maybe you're absorbing vocabulary subconsciously or noticing sentence structures without realizing it.
Right. Passive learning plays a bigger role than we often give it credit for. Just being around the language, even without active study, keeps your brain engaged.
And that kind of consistent exposure builds a solid foundation you can rely on when you're ready to push yourself more actively again.
Exactly. It's about balancing effort with rest and making peace with where you are right now on your journey.
Absolutely, and it also helps to set realistic expectations. Sometimes, we expect huge leaps forward, but steady, small steps often lead to the most lasting improvements.
Definitely. It's like building a house. You need to lay down bricks one by one, and eventually, that foundation becomes strong and stable.
And during those slower periods, it's okay to just soak in the language, watch a show, listen to music, or even think in English quietly. Those little habits keep your connection alive.
Yeah, and when life calms down, you'll be surprised how much progress you've actually made without feeling pressured all the time.
It's all about patience and kindness to yourself. Learning English isn't a race, it's a journey that fits around your life, not the other way around.
And when you stop stressing about perfection, you start enjoying the process more, which naturally leads to better learning.
Exactly. And honestly, that enjoyment is what keeps you coming back. If every session feels like a chore, you'll burn out. But if you let yourself laugh, be curious, and explore without pressure, you'll find yourself practicing without even noticing.
That's so true. Like, just having a conversation with yourself while cooking, or repeating a phrase you heard in a movie while walking to the bus, it all adds up. You don't have to sit at a desk with a textbook to be learning.
Right. Those in-between moments in daily life are actually powerful. You can reflect, you can repeat, you can think in English. It's not about the environment, it's about the mindset.
And the beautiful part is, when you start to see English as something you live with instead of something you fight through, your confidence slowly starts to grow.
Exactly. It becomes part of your identity, not just another task on your to-do list.
And that shift, that's when real, sustainable progress begins.
So if you've been feeling like you're not doing enough, or that your progress is too slow, remember this: every small interaction, every repeated phrase, every time you think in English instead of your first language, it all counts. You're growing, even if it doesn't always feel visible.
Give yourself some credit. You're showing up. You're trying. You're living your real life and learning a language. That's not something small, that's something powerful.
We hope this episode reminded you that English isn't just about lessons and exams. It's about being a learner in the middle of your beautiful, messy, real life.
Take care of yourself. Keep your practice gentle, meaningful, and human. We'll see you next time on the British Accent Podcast.